All right, so here we go again for another video. Put my shades on because I want to look cute for the camera. Uh, let's talk about the tabooed N-word that we don't want to hear, and we don't want nobody say to call us N-word. And it's a strange thing because of the fact that the N-word does apply to us, and we don't want it to apply to us. We want to make it seem like there's something else happening here. That you're no longer the N-word, and we need to talk about this. Because you got to embrace that word. You got to accept that word in order for us to make any real progress that we don't want to make. We want to live in a world of make-believe and fantasy. We want to delude ourselves. And again, like I told you, with Cinderella at the fucking ball, you have no power to do shit, but to be returned back to where N-words belong, which is the cotton field. Or the bottom of a mass grave, and it's on its fucking way. You can hear it in Ukraine. There's nothing that could come out of this system except death. There's nothing that could come out of what has happened to, the majority of mankind except death. What the fuck you think is happening here? But again, as I'll continue to say, it's not about talking with so-called black people, because that's how you want to be described, as being black. And black is a color that, of course, encompasses everybody. It covers all people who have dark skin or black skin. And that's what makes us an N-word. And you don't want to deal with it. But until you do, you always be an N-word. As much as you don't want to hear it, you don't want to see it, you don't know when you want to fight against it and call somebody else to call it, that's the main word. Not anything else you want to say. Because motherfuckers want to label me some shit that they want me to accept their labels. I don't. Because we haven't dealt with this word. This is the first word we got to deal with. You haven't dealt with that. We got thug niggas, we got cool niggas, we got gangster niggas, we got all kinds of fucking niggas. And it's not all kinds of niggas. There's only one type of nigga. Or N-word. We've never properly dealt with our condition. This is at the heart of our problem. And why we can't do nothing but go 360 degrees right back to where the fuck we came from. Or be turned into some landfill and or fertilizer if you don't want to pick any cotton. And as I said, I don't know why you're saying that. Because there's no cotton to be picked. You have to deal with the fact that that black people, so-called black people, have to deal with the fact that the one and only reason you're here is to be a fucking slave. Make up if you continue to make stories up, make stories up. Be like a fucking child. Live like make-believe. You don't produce shit for yourself. A man and a woman is supposed to produce everything for them motherfucking selves. They're supposed to produce everything. They don't need another man for nothing. Do you need another man for anything in your life? Then you're not a man or woman. You're a fucking farm animal. They have domesticated you and turned you into a source of income. They feed off of you and get rich off of you, of your fucking stupidity and your lust for a European lifestyle. This makes you an N-word. You don't want to deal with it. You just don't want to hear it. You want to be like I did a video years ago called The Emperor with No Clothes. He walked around butt naked, but he wanted people to treat him like he had clothes on. We are the N-word, but we won't want nobody to call us the N-word. Because now you're ready to fight and kill against something that you fucking are. It will always be. Until you embrace it and accept this is what you were turned into, and you haven't done that. That takes work. That takes sacrifice to undo that word. But an N-word, I'll just use that since we're talking about that, wants to pretend for as long as he can until he's returned back to his original state. Again, as I continue to tell you, you're Cinderella. You're Cinderella at the ball, having a good time and partying. But the clock is about to strike 12. And you're going back to this without a question. You have no choice. You don't produce shit. You control no resources. You don't produce anything you need in your life. Housing, clothes, food. That's all supposed to be produced for you. This is why I showed you the band. Let me pull. See, I fucked up. I got to show you guys. I have to pull this image up because this is, and you don't like it. You don't like it. Is in a N-word. What the fuck you are? You can't deal with this. Let me see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll pull it. If I can't, then fuck it. I won't do it. But I'm pretty sure I can find it. Should be in my slavery here right here. There you go. We gotta talk about this, cause niggas want to live, you want to live in a world of make believe fantasy. Shit, pull it up. Oh, here we go. It's coming now. Let's blow it up a little bit, make it a little bigger. I want you to see them. I want you to see these people. These are the bands of the Kalahari. That's the foundation, the base of all mankind. This is where all human beings come from. And what's the one thing about them that you can't say about yourself? What's the one thing that they have that you don't have? Or that you do have? What's the one thing about them that they don't have that you do have? The need for a white man. The need for any man. Because they produce everything they need to live. This is from 250,000. This is from the very beginning. This is from the beginning of mankind. You're looking at them right now. Don't need another man for nothing. You can't live without another man without something. You can, if for some chance gasoline ceases to exist, you're dead. Natural gas, you're dead. Electricity, you're dead. The internet, you're dead. You can't live without these things. And you don't control any of this shit. You don't produce none of it. But you don't want to be called an N-word. The very thing that you are and always will be until you do that. Become like these people right here that you look down on. Oh my God, I couldn't live like. Look how horrible, my Jesus Christ, my man, how can I live like that? And again, this is the foundation. This is from the beginning for all mankind. And they live like this over in Europe too. This is what they say the Stone Age, because there was the Paleolithic and Monolithic. What do they call it? There was two ages. Where you had people like the fucking czars of Russia and the kings of England who took over these other people who were living like we lived in grass huts. They lived in grass huts in Europe. They were hunter-gatherers in Europe. But there was a group of people that came down out of the mountain some fucking where. I forgot where. And I had the video. I lost it. I wish I could find it. But it showed. They was in fucking caves, crawling around in caves, eating raw meat. The motherfuckers rule your world today. But then something happened, I forgot, but they started coming down these mountains and taking everybody over. Everybody's living naturally and normally, like these people right here, living naturally, normally, in harmony and balance with their environment. They live in harmony. These people live in harmony and balance with their fucking environment. They are part of the ecosystem that they live in. They don't just did is take it over and fuck it up and piss and shit it up. That's not it. That's in the mind of a fucking N-word. And so you don't want to be called N-word. I don't, people call me shit. I don't want to be called. You call me what you want to call me. You think whatever you want about me. I think you should be dead. I think you ought to have some bullets shot through your fucking face and head. I think the world would be a better place without you. This is what I think about you. So let's express our thoughts about each other. N-word. Spanish speaking, English speaking, French speaking, German speaking, fucking N-word. You don't get to decide whether you're an N-word or not. How you live, how you act, how you conduct, how you interact with this motherfucking planet decides whether you're an N-word or not. And what makes you an N-word? What makes you an N-word? What's the one thing above all I've talked about in my last video? What makes you a fucking N-word? The fact that you have a desire and you have an appetite for a European way of life and living, and you're not a fucking European. There are no black countries. Show me one black nation over in Europe. Show me one white nation over in Africa. It does not fucking exist. You're a crime against nature. You're a crime against life. This is why you exist. As a result of criminal acts against nature and against humanity. You're a black European where there are no black Europeans. You were created, nigga. Oops, excuse me, N-word. You are a creation. and you're going to go back. Well, they can't send you back nowhere because that's gone. That phase of their development and controlling this planet is over with, having physical slaves. And that is, they have to discard you. They're going to discard you. Like you discard some fucking obsolete machine. And it takes me in the mind, I just thought about this. And this guy just died. His name's William Hurt, actor. He just died a couple of days, like yesterday, some shit. He was a star of a movie called AI, Artificial Intelligence. Watch that movie. Watch that fucking movie. William Hurt, he was in that. And the one thing that you'll see is that there's a place where they dump obsolete robots. Robots that are no longer useful. They have a dumping ground for them. But then there's a thing where they have, and it's amazing because there's a thing where these guys, and they round them up. They go and they round these guys and they use them in carnivals. They make a show out of them and burn them up and kill them and pour acid on them, all kinds of shit. This is what you are. They've made you obsolete. You're no longer needed. You're no longer necessary. In the world that they've created, they've taken over the fucking planet. And you're a pawn in their game. And you just refuse to understand that. So you don't want to hear, oh, don't call me an N-word. Don't say I'm a, that's exactly what you are. What else are you but the N-word? What else can you ever be but the N-word? Unless you want to live like that or something along those lines. Not exactly like that. Because again, you have Mali, Sungai, all these great African civilizations that were African in nature. They were not European in nature because they had no contact with Europeans. You talk about the Sungai and Mali empires, they were not European in nature at all. They were African, totally African in nature. And I would say some with some Arab, but we'll say that they were totally on the continent of Africa because even though they're not black, but they're still on the Saudi Arabia and all that. You know, they want to separate Saudi Arabia. That's on the continent of Africa, but they don't call it the continent of Africa. They want to give it a separate. What continent is Saudi Arabia on? What continent is fucking Iran on? What continent is Iraq on? Africa. They're on the African continent. They're not in Europe. Those are African nations. Notice you did never say that. This is how fucked up we are. How damaged and destroyed we've become. You don't want to be called the N-word. What else can you be but the fucking N-word? That's what you are. Whether you want to be or not. You don't want to accept that. That's the first thing that has to be accepted. The fact you are the N-word. All the rest of that shit you want to talk about being a man, a woman, you can't be. There's no way you can be a man, woman, holy. There's no way. There's no way you can be a man, woman, holy. Yes, you have many man-like qualities. So does my pet dog. But he's a domesticated animal. He's domesticated. He's not a wolf. I don't give a fuck how big and bad and brave and bold he may be. He is domesticated. He's a pet. And the N-word cannot, you just can't. So you want to come with all this shit, you want to say all this bullshit, go ahead and say what you want to say. You're going back. Well, you can't go back. I'm sorry, but there's no way to go back to. That's over. You're obsolete. They don't need you to pick cotton anymore, or chop sugar cane, or do any other things you did when you were a slave. They got machines to do that now. They have technology to take care of that now. They can make robots. They have other people from South America to do that. Need you for what? You better start dealing with this. You got to start. No, just ignore it. Pretend. Live in a world of fantasy and make-believe because you can, like a fucking child. Like a 6-year-old, like a toddler pretending to be an astronaut, a cowboy. Because he's living in his parents' house. His parents take care of him. So he can pretend to be a cowboy. Has no idea what a cowboy is. Has no idea what an astronaut is. But this is what he wants to be. You want to be a god and a king and don't know what the fuck you talk. God or what? The toilet? King or what? A place that you have no control over? That can be gentrified and you can be kicked the fuck out of? But what's the point of stopping? You're dead. We're just dead. We just are people that now we're going to be made extinct. They got to get rid of it. And I'm not mad at them. This is where, no. It's the fittest of the fittest will survive. And we're not fit to survive. Because we're completely and totally under control of another man. You got money in your pocket. Look whose face is on that money. Whose face is on them $100 bills you got in your pocket? Is it Dr. King, Malcolm X? No, it's your former slave master. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and George Washington. That's what's on your money. you're still a slave. Because you have an appetite for a European way of life when you're not a fucking European. You're an N-word. You're a fucking N-word. And don't want to be that. You got to deal with it. Because if you don't, you're saying you want to die. You're saying you want your fucking children to die. And not have a future on this fucking planet. And so this is what I want to talk about in this video. Is you look at the picture, in the image of the band. So I'll bring back up the fucking word. Hold on, put it back up. You know, this is our fucking problem. We don't want to deal with fucking reality. You want to live in a world of fantasy because you can. Because somebody else providing everything you need. Gas prices are going up, they're going to continue to go up. And force you back to where you belong, a cotton field. But there's no more cotton to be picked. There's no more sugar cane to be chopped. So where can you go to exist? You have nowhere in nature. You're not an African, you're not a European. You're some shit in between. That there's no future for you. None. Except there's some landfill and or fucking fertilizer. This is what you're about to be. Landfill and or fucking fertilizer. You're here for one reason and one reason only. To be a fucking slave. All that shit about being a king and a god and all sort of stupid shit. Make that, go ahead and tell yourself, lie to yourself. Go ahead and lie. We could have power. We could have control. And the one only example that I have to show you is someone like Malcolm X. There should be many other examples of him, but he's the only one. He's the Rosetta Stone. Malcolm X is our Rosetta Stone of how we could have a future on this planet. But we don't want to take advantage because you're happy being an N-word. And then you don't want to be called an N-word, but that's your fucking N-word. What else are you? Black man where? Black woman where? Black is a color, motherfucker. It doesn't describe anything but a color. Human beings have a name. Irish, Italian, you know, Nigerian, whatever the fuck. Black is a color. And you say you're black because that helps you not use the N-word, which is what the fuck you are. The white man made all of us black to enslave us. And you're happy being black today, but again, you're fucking Cinderella at the ball, partying your ass off, having a good time, but you're going back or going off this planet one. So don't call me, you don't want to hear that. You ready to fight and die and kill, but what else are you but a fucking N-word? Black is a color. It doesn't describe anything else but a fucking color. And what you did and what you think you were, all the shit you invented, so what? What do you produce, nigga? Fuck what you invented. Oh, niggas invented a light bulb, the cell phone. Do you control that product? Is that, do you manufacture that, the cell phone, the light bulb? No, the fuck you don't. And so, this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. The N-word. You know, let's talk about the N-word. You don't want to be called what you are. You don't want to deal with the fact that you're still an N-word. You can never stop being an N-word until you take control of your life and your destiny and you have complete control of everything that you consume, you produce. That's what that shows you the band too. They no matter what you think about them, they produce everything they consume. And that was the story for all people around this planet for the fucking Europeans started his march to dominate the whole planet and turn everybody out, turn everybody on, which he did. And even the Africans, they don't want to be Africans. They're black Europeans. They're fucked up. They've been turned out. They're turnouts. Because they have an appetite for European culture. They have an appetite for what the European produces. And they shouldn't. Now the Chinese, that's a different story because they actually made that. They took control. They have complete control of their societies and their culture. Even though they use a lot of, but they produce the shit they consume. Africa doesn't produce shit. Like I said, I showed a video about all the nations that had nuclear bombs. There's not one African nation that has a nuclear device, and they should. That means they can't defend themselves. They're defenseless. And they did that to themselves by getting turned on and turned out by European shit, cheap manufactured shit that the fucking nigger fuck N-word is still turned on today by. You're still turned out like your ancestors were in Africa. You're a fucking turnout. You don't want to be called the N-word. What else are you but a fucking N-word? You tell me. Black man where? What the fuck is a black man? Black is a color, motherfucker. It doesn't describe anything but a color. So you call yourself, instead of saying you're a nigga man, you're saying you're a black man. We're going to stop playing with it. We're going to stop fucking around with it. Fuck that. I'm sick of a fucking stinking nigga and your fucking shit. No, you have not stopped being a fucking dirty. Deal with that first. Look at me. You gonna look at me with the side eye. That makes me want to fuck you up. Because there's nothing low or dirty in your fucking black ass. And God forbid you want to try to look down your dirty black nose to somebody else. We're in the same boat, you black motherfucker. Going to the same place, you stinking black bitch. Was there something that changed your fucking mind? It's off this fucking planet where you should be. In your current state, you should be, they should fucking exterminate you because they fucking destroyed you and turned you into a fucking N-word that you don't want nobody to call you. You have no power. You're a powerless piece of shit. What's powerful about your fucking mouth? Your fist and your dick. That's the power of an animal. You're saying I'm a fucking animal. And a domesticated animal. Not a wild animal, but a domesticated fucking animal. That ought to be fucking dead. Because there's no more use for you. They've used you up and made you obsolete. And you refuse to fucking see this or deal with it. And your children are going to pay. No, we can have fun with it. But you're fucking out babies. They're going to pay the price. Go have fun. You're a piece of shit, nigga. You're a piece of fucking shit because you're going to make your children suffer for your bullshit. They have no future past a certain point. Are you fucking nuts? A future where? On what planet? Except in your fucking dirty black fucking mind, nigga fucking mind. They have a future. These white motherfuckers gonna kill you. They have to get rid of you. You're direct competition for value, resource, and real estate. Need you for what? What do? Nothing. You're here to pick cotton, chop sugarcane, tobacco, be the physical labor. Now they got machines for that. And if not machines, they got Mexicans who do the same thing. Will be more than glad to take your place as slaves. You better pull your head out of your black ass. You better pull your head out of your fucking dirty black ass because you're begging, not asking to die. You're begging, not asking for your children to be fucking exterminated by playing N-word. Pretending you got power that and you're about as powerless as a piece of fucking wet toilet paper. Again, you have the power of an animal. It's in your fist and your dick. That's animal power. That's not the power. You got a little old man, again, that's wearing the depends that's deciding whether your children have a future. He can't hardly walk. He gotta have help walking. But he decides whether your children live or not. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're lost, nigga. You're lost. And you'll be found. You'll be found in the bottom of a fucking mass grave. Like the fucking Jews over in Europe. This is what you're begging for. And so let's talk about the N-word. This is what I want to speak about in this video. I don't care a fuck. You want to tell me I'm whatever, you this, I'm whatever you want me to be. But you'll never stop being the N-word. As long as you live in a society unchanged and you haven't done a factory reset on your fucking humanity and embraced your Africanness, and then you can never stop being the N-word. Except in your mind. Don't want nobody to call you. That's what you are. What else are you but a fucking N-word? You tell me. A man where? I just showed you what a man was. I'll show you again. Let me show you a man. Let me show you some real men. Here they go. These are real men right here. These are real black men right here. No, they're not no fucking pyramid or castles or wearing silk or some other nigga bullshit. But they don't need a white. If they drop nuclear bombs today and they don't hit South, let's say they drop nuclear bombs right now today, and let's say they don't get hit by it, they won't even notice it. They won't even fucking notice it. They'll continue living their lives that they have been for the last 250,000 fucking years. You'll be fucked. You'll be fucked. But they won't even know. They won't even notice that there was nuclear bomb drop unless the nuclear fallout hits them directly. But of course, the motherfucking N-word. Oh no, yeah, you been there, I'll kill you, motherfucker. Oh, what else are you? What else the fuck can you possibly be? You haven't done anything to change that. You haven't done a fucking thing to change that. But grow a big beard. You niggas big people. Motherfucker. And so this is what I want to talk about in this video. You know, let's talk about the N-word because N-words don't want to be called N-words. Because you don't want to be called that shit because that's what you are. And you don't want to accept it or deal with it. Unless you want to live like that. You don't want to live like that. Again, no more than my pet dog wants to be a fucking wolf. He wants to be my pet. He wants to be a domesticated dog. You want to be an N-word, but you just don't want to call you an N-word. Because you depend on another man for everything you need. You don't produce shit for yourself. And that's the essence of being a fucking human being, a man and woman, is producing everything you need for your fucking self, like these people right here. They don't need a white man for nothing. Neither did the people in the place you call Puerto Rico, Dominican. They need a white man for a fucking thing. You can't live without a white man. Say you can, you're a fucking liar. Then do it, black motherfucker. Do it, N-word. Live without a white man, N-word. You can't, you motherfucker. I'll kick your ass. Because you're a fucking savage animal. You're a savage beast. I get it. You're a domesticated savage. That's what I call it. A domesticated savage. Ralph Maurer. Savage Skull, savage, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I know, savage turd. Excuse me. Savage Skull, your ass, savage turd. A domesticated savage skull, bitch. And so, this is what I want to talk about in this video. You know, supporting that we do that. You got to deal with the reality of your condition. Because not to deal with that and say you want to die. You know, you can pretend and you can lie to yourself, but your children are going to pay. Your grandchildren are going to pay. Your great-grandchildren are going to pay the price. They're going back into slavery. What else can happen here? These people haven't changed. They want you to believe that you're a part of society. They need you to believe that you have some control and have some power here when you have none. 9/11. Should I pull up? I'm not gonna pull up the whole. I'm not gonna pull up the whole. I'm gonna spare you that. Let me do this here. Let me just show you one. Let me just show you one of it. Look at that. Look at it. I gotta keep showing you that. You have to see that. That has nothing to do with a fucking plane. Planes are made of aluminum. The lightest material. Could you imagine? Just think about it. I don't give a fuck how you take. Let's shoot a fucking soda can full of concrete into a brick wall. Let's see what happens. It's gonna crumble. It's not gonna go through the fucking wall. Those planes, so-called planes, went through that building like they were butter. That's not how. Because you don't want to believe you're in the Matrix. You don't understand where the fuck you are. Planes don't act. There's no way a plane can act. What about the wings don't fall off? They found no wings, no seats, no passengers, no fucking. They didn't. If they said they found a motherfucking orange bull, they bullshit. But they got to make you believe. They got to make you believe. Make believe. You're living in a world of make believe. Motherfuckers are making you believe something that's not true. Like this event right here. But I'm glad it happened. Thank God I was allowed to see it. And it's unfortunate a lot of people weren't here to see this shit. To see how the people that want to fuck with you about what you are about to be fucked. Well, you've been being fucked. And now you're about to be killed. By psychopaths and sociopaths. And hoarders of wealth. Who don't give a fuck about you. Give a fuck about you. Will kill you and not blink. But, you know, I don't want, you better not call me the N-word. I'll kill you and shoot you and all that kind of shit. What else are you? A mule is a fucking mule. He may not want to be called it, but that's what he is. That's you turn. You're a human fucking mule. A mix between different races of people that should never happen. It's unnatural and it's sick. There's no way Africans and Europeans would ever interact with each other except as a result of a criminal fucking act. And an N-word refuses to fucking see this. You're happy being an N-word today. You're happy being a fucking N-word today, but your black ass won't be happy tomorrow, motherfucker, when you're back down south somewhere in a FEMA camp waiting to be exterminated. It's on its way. No. It's, again, for 1,000 times, it's not about talking with a fucking N-word. No. It's not about what they see. It's not about what they hear. You got to feel something. An N-word has to feel something in order to get her fucking mind or his mind to change. Because otherwise, forget it. You might be talking to a fucking four-legged mule. It's on its way. Look at it. Yeah, 2 planes did that. Those buildings were designed to handle. The man said design, and planes did crash. A plane did crash to those buildings, and it had no impact on it. They repaired the damage of the impact. You had a fucking explosion that destroyed 7 stories of the sub-basement. The rest of the building, they repaired the damage. A direct and a design explosion happened in 1993. Let me pull an image up of that shit too. I have that here too. Let me pull that up. Since I'm pulling image, let's just pull images up. Hold on. No, that's not what I want. No, I apologize. Pull that down. Let's pull this image up. Watch this shit here. I gotta talk about this for briefly. If I have, do I have it? No, I probably don't have it. Let me. All right, so I'll find it. I gotta show you this. I gotta show you. It's just to show you. You know, you want to lie to yourself. You want to lie. You want to lie and say, no, it's not what it is. I'm free, and I'm a man, and I'm not an N-word. What the fuck else are you? You're a fucking... Are you fucking nuts? A man where? A woman where? Watch this. Look at it. Let me pull this motherfucker right. Let me pull this up. Look. New York's Day of Terror. And this is from... It says, is it Sunday? I'm trying to see through shades, my dumb ass. That's from, let me get the date right. This is from, blow it up a little more. I can't hardly see my damn self. I'm trying to squint to see this shit. It says Saturday, February 27, 1993. New York's Day of Terror. Trade Center bombed. The Trade Center was bombed. The Trade Center was bombed and kills at least 5, wounds hundreds, linked to Bosnia, whatever the fuck they see, some other lie bullshit. The shit was bombed. The motherfucking building was bombed. With a bomb that destroyed 7 stories of the sub-basement. Why didn't the building collapse then? Why didn't the building just fall apart and blow apart back when it was fucking bombed with a real bomb that destroyed 7 stories of the sub-basement? Why didn't it fall down? But you have a fucking plane made of aluminum that hits it, and the whole thing just turns into dust. You want to lie to yourself. You want, again, it's like a motherfucker that, like I told you, it's like a nigga that's dream, like some dreams that I have from time to time. I haven't had one lately. Some dreams are so fucking good that even when you realize you're awake, you want to go back to sleep to get back inside that fucking dream. Because the dream is so good. That's what you're doing now. You're dreaming, nigga. You're dreaming. Wake up. But you don't want to wake up. You want to stay asleep. Like a nigga having an extremely good dream. A bomb designed to bring the buildings down. Didn't bring they repaired the damage and went on like, but a plane made out of aluminum hits it and the whole thing falls down like dust. Sit there, don't move. No, we gonna have fun. We gonna party because we Cinderella at the bar. Woo, having a good time, shaking your stinking black ass and singing and drinking and spending money. But you got kids. Fuck them. You give a fuck about them. Shit. We having fun. We enjoying ourselves. They're going to pay for our shit, but what do we care? We having a good time. This is makes you a piece of shit. This is makes you a dirty bitch that ought to die right now for never trying to understand shit, but want to live in a lie and lie to yourself. And talk being a fucking woman and a man when you're a fucking N-word, which is a domesticated human being. You're black. And like I showed you, mother, there were no such thing as there were no black people in Africa before the Europeans showed up. Everybody had a fucking name and a culture and spiritual beliefs of their own. You didn't become black until they turned you into the N-word. And instead of calling yourself N-word, you want to say you're black. Fuck you. And so this is what I want to talk about in this video. You know, there's more that I can say, but I pretty much said everything I want to say, so I'm going to do it this time because the video is short. Thank you for your time. And you take it easy.